Hello, this is Augie Macro with Cryptid Creatures. Today we're going to talk about one of the biggest questions that have been plaguing our cultures for thousands of years. Are we alone in the universe? Aliens. They're a very broad topic to talk about, but today we're going to talk about the aliens that people have claimed to see, been abducted by, and supposedly even live among them. In cryptozoology, aliens come in many different shapes and sizes. For example, the most common, the gray and the reptoid, which are seen in pop culture all over the world. But other less known ones, like the Pascagoula River alien, the Flatwoods monster, and the Fresno Nightcrawler, just to name a few. On October 11th, 1973, on the Pascagoula River in Mississippi, two people were supposedly abducted by a group of extraterrestrials. They were taken, put in their ship, and then later that night brought down to the Earth. They came in a ship very similar to this one, large orb-shaped, glowing bright blue. And the creatures that came out of it were tall humanoids, supposedly looked almost robotic, with 3 horns sticking out laterally on their head. On September 12, 1952, in Braxton County, West Virginia, in the central region of the state, a group of people supposedly stumbled upon a large 9 to 12 foot tall alien that smelled like sulfur, released a noxious gas that eventually supposedly gave them lung or throat cancer. Seemed very large and robotic, with a large rocket-like bottom, long spindly arms with 2 or 3 fingers on the end, and a large dome-like structure over its head, and its head looked reptilian. They ran. One of them found a black oily substance on their outfit, and another one went down with severe coughing that night. On the week of April 21st in 1977, in a small town of Dover, Massachusetts, there was supposedly seen a creature named the Dover Demon, which was quadrupedal, had long arms, and a large, unusual hourglass-shaped head with small eyes and no mouth. It was seen from the 21st to the 22nd of that week, all throughout Dover, Massachusetts. On July of 1947, in the town of Roswell, New Mexico, a farmer supposedly found a large oval-shaped craft crashed into a hill on his property. Strewn upon the crash site, there were bodies of what appeared to be an alien known as the Gray, a common and most well-known type of alien that looks similar to this cutout right here. They are about 6 feet tall, very humanoid, but have much larger head than we do, larger eyes, and are gray in color. This is caricaturized, so it's green, and is highly intelligent and is very technologically advanced, far beyond us. They're supposedly native to the planet of Reticulon 1 in the Reticulum constellation. They're the ones that do the most alien abduction. They're the most common variety known to pop culture. They are known for causing loss of time. They can read minds. They're psychokinetic, which means that they're able to manipulate things using their mind. And because of this, they have a very enlarged head for storing that very large brain of theirs. And they're able to see in many different types of light, like ultraviolet and infrared. as well as visible light. They seem to be the most similar to humans seen yet in alien sightings. On December 9th, 1965, in the small town of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, there was supposedly a sighting of a large craft crashing in the woods nearby. Recently, we went to this town to investigate. Here we are in the small village of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, about 40 minutes away from Pittsburgh. I'm here to talk to you about an extraterrestrial occurrence that happened here December 9th, 1965. On that night, a large fireball was reported to shoot through the sky and crashed in the woods just around us. It was reported to look like a giant acorn with language encrypted at the bottom, like this right here. This model was made in honor of that UFO. Later, a couple days after the thing crashed, military personnel came in and took the object out. They said that it was a meteor that burnt up in the atmosphere and crashed in the woods. Do we really know what this object was? Some think that it was a piece of space junk, like possibly a satellite of some sort re-entering the atmosphere. It could have also been a meteor, like what the military personnel said. But it could have also been an alien spacecraft. We may never know. UFOs, a technical term given to unidentified flying objects, or objects seen going through the sky. They have been seen by people all over the world, have been sighted by people from all walks of life. We have a special guest here today. His name is Chris Palmer. He, along with my dad, were among the founding members of the band Sour Wine Cult. They all witnessed an alleged UFO in the woods of Cameron County, Pennsylvania in the 1990s. Let's hear his story.
Thank you for having me on the show, Augie. I remember back in the summer of 1995, we were in Cameron County, coming back from the festival. It was late, probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were in the back of a pickup truck, a few of us, and I had fallen asleep sometime in the night while we were driving back. I remember the sensation of somebody flashing a flashlight in my eyes, and I opened my eyes to see what was going on. Maybe somebody's playing a prank on me or just being funny. And I noticed it was like daylight outside. And I thought, my God, they'd let me sleep in the pickup truck all night and it was morning. But that was not the case. As I looked up, it was overcast and you could see through the clouds this light shimmering. I looked to my left and Clint was kind of staring up, and to my right, Alan as well. And it was like this strange daylight. And as I was looking, it seemed as if somebody had grabbed a dimmer switch and just slowly had started to turn it down, and it went dark again. It was the strangest feeling, a very odd sensation, and didn't know what to make of it. Nobody knew. We were kind of sat in silence for a while. And it seemed as if something had passed overhead and above the clouds, but it was so bright, such an intense light. I couldn't explain it. I had no idea what it could have been, but it just seemed like it had moved off, and that's where, it had gone dark again. It moved off beyond the horizon someplace to the north. It was a very unsettling experience, something that I'd be apprehensive to encounter again. But we spoke about it, tried to figure out what we thought it might have been, but nobody really had any kind of explanation. So something is out there. It's very interesting to come across something that you can't explain.
In my opinion, I think that aliens exist. There's just too much universe for there not to be, and the materials needed to support life are abundant. Things like an oxygen-rich atmosphere, liquid water, and a large supply of carbon for the life forms to be created from, or an alternate silicon. The planet that would be the most likely to support life is a rocky planet like ours. And it needs to be within a certain range of the solar system, depending on the star, where there's just the right temperature for certain things. Not too cold, like the gas giants in our solar system, and not too hot, like Venus and Mercury. Just in that right zone for it to have liquid water and for it to be a warm but not hot rocky planet like ours. There have been many different interpretations of what these could look like. I have one right here that I've made myself. This creature that I've invented lives on a planet that circles a red star. Red dwarf star are the most common star in the universe. They're small and red, so they don't give off the same light as ours does. So the plants on that planet would not be green. This creature feeds off of things like a suckermouth catfish does, or a common pleco in your fish tank. They feed off of algae and decaying material, and it flies around using jet propulsion. So it creates methane gas from its digestive system and then burns it. This creature is built very similarly to that, and is one of the animals that lives on the lower end of the food chain and on its planet. A decomposer, like mushrooms or maggots on Earth. As our technology advances and we delve deeper into the universe, we might find a planet just right for creatures just like this one. Life is an incredible thing. It could have been here billions of years before us. It will be here billions of years after us. We don't know where it came from, but we sure do know that it does exist, and we're the proof. Cryptid Creatures is sponsored by the Kitty Petters Union, Cobble Sound Recording Company, and my dad's show, Meet the Pressers with Matt Mallory and Clint Macro. This is Augie Macro with Cryptid Creatures signing off.